Absolutely. All right. You get the arms up. You're going to step down on the way up. And then on the way down, your arms are just going to float. You're going to draw the knees. You're just going to drop to the board. When you feel that board, woo, then you're ready. All right, Eli. Watch the road. Hold. Hey! Not bad. Now you're here, and you start to go down a little bit. Hey, open that up and spin belly button, belt buckle to the ceiling a little better. That balance was there. Had a pretty good top, too. Come on. Stretch, draw. Now remember, you got to hold the board down while you're swinging your arms, or you'll go right where you're swinging your hands. All right, Eli, 203, slow on the approach. We pause at the top. Drift and draw, drop and swing. Hup, back 1.5 tuck. Reach, hup. Okay, now you got your arms up decently well. You did not work very hard to get your lower body somersault up. There's no spin up. So you got to do more direction with your feet. That way when you're ready to kick out, you won't just drop your legs. Strong kick. Feel free to do any kick outs you need. You guys. Footwear Effects Diving Club, Coach Corey. Haven't seen you here for a while. All right, girl. I've seen a good one. Good hurdle. Smooth. Hold. Now, you know you're skipping off that hurdle, right? You're not riding the hurdle. If you don't ride the hurdle, forget landing on the end of the board smooth. Hey! You didn't want to do both. You can double bounce it. We can try one, and then we can alternate somersaults. That's pretty good. Being an old man, I double bounce everything because I can't do just a regular approach very well anymore. Now, I'd love to have your feet underneath your body. Are you catching the board a little better? Yeah. But it's not because you're drawing into that. It's just because you rode the hurdle a little bit better. All right? But your feet are still behind you, so you can't push your heels up, hips up, and you can't drive your heels. I need somersault, ma'am. I need you to put one on your face. All right. Now, slow on the board, but remember, you got to get to that full body stretch, and like a rubber band, snap. If you wanted to video one,
yeah, I will when I go and
you can. Yeah, you can push it. Then we just have to go back to where they are at. It's a little different one, but it still works because that one you can draw on and write on. I like that program. The app's not available anymore. Coach's Eye. So now they have another.
Is it just installed into your camera?
It's an app. It's an app. The other one is this one, and they have one that's like a part 2, but that one wasn't that big. This one is like for TiVo. So you just have this app, and then you tap it and wait for 30 seconds, tap it again, and it's on a 30-second delay. So you can have your TiVo at Martinsville if you just have that app. Okay, I'm just saying if you have that app and an iPad or something. All right, back 1.5. But the Coach's Eye, I can still use it because I have the app, but I can't use it to share like with my athletes. You used to be able to put all their email addresses in, and then after you videoed, you can send them their videos. Up. There we stretch. Up. That's the stretch. Now remember, we squeeze tight so we can kick tight. You kind of squeeze tight, but you definitely didn't kick tight. Hey, Eli, I need more of a sharp knee elbow kick. Knee elbow kick. I like to start. Get up, step out in front. You're gonna feel like, oh my gosh, I'm backwards. Yes. I saw you do a couple. Just give yourself a good hurdle. Down, down, up. All right, that one, as your arms came up, they didn't stop. They went back on you, and that pushed the hips out. Stop and go up. Stop the arm swing in the direction you want to go. You don't want to go that way, because if you reach that way, you're probably going that way. Up. Eli doesn't have much patience. Okay. Emma's up. Come on. Knee up, step in front. Okay. Up. Okay, now when you go to pike, you pike like this. You need to pike at the hips, more at the hips. That's where you get the flip started. You're doing this here. You need to go this, hop to here. Okay? High, stay tall, and when you snap, we're lifting back up and getting right on that axis, that long axis. Got to get to the pirouette. Okay, Eli, sharp knee kick. High spots at the 2. Kick the 2. Up. Up. Oh, I did not call that. Not a good start, but you decided even though it wasn't a good start, I'll just come out super early. If it's a crappy start, hold on. Hold on. Stay in. Don't bail out. When in doubt, don't bail out. I told him not to bail out. All right. Ride that hurdle. Ride the hurdle. Ride the takeoff. Ride. Ride. Yeah. You still keep putting that thing out there. I like the hurdle. I like the takeoff. I know, it's just funny. Hey, at least you're trying to open your hips more. Oh, you need to look at it. Are you going to look at it? And hey, Lily, that still had more heights to it because you still had a little bit extra back there. More upper back, a little tighter here. Really? Go, look where your arms are. You're stepping down. Look, your arms should be back here, right? Back there. Back there. It doesn't go frame by frame very well sometimes. There you go. So there's the arm swing. It's a bit early. See that? Now, we should have just drifted and drawn. But your arms are now behind your body and you hadn't made contact with that board yet. So your feet are going to shift. All right? Okay. If you made contact and they got back there, they're not going to shift because they're already on the stinking board. But your arms are supposed to drift laterally so they don't make your feet move. That makes sense? And then once we land, boom, we're doing a big circular swing through that. So your head and chest are up kind of, but now, see how far forward you are? Yeah. And now you're starting to think about pushing. Oh, you forgot to finish your arm circle to the top. So you stopped out here. And now you don't have a lot of work with. See what I was talking about, like that pike? There's really not much pike there. You're here and doing your twist action with your arms, but your lower body's not really assisting. So you need to twist more from the hips than the shoulders. From the hips than the shoulders. Okay?
Is it just a problem with my shoulders? Like they're not flexible? Or like...
No. No. All right, Eli, thank you for being patient. Positivo, we had to look over that so she could see what's up. Now, get stretched like that rubber band. And then snap, squeeze, kick. Up. Up. Oh, come on. Way too early. I did not call you. I did not call you out on that one. You touched and released. You did not squeeze. All right, girl, get the arms up, step in front, float to the board. Drop out of the sky. You don't have to do anything till you land, except for get ready to land. And remember, that board is going to bounce twice. If you're listening, if your ears are covered up by the cap, but bounce, bounce, and you got to be ready for that timing to catch. Now, the last couple had a better transfer in the hurdle. That one, you were a little bit crowded on the toes. You didn't have that center of gravity back on the heels to be able to stand up better. Backswing, stretch, smooth. That's better. That's better approach and catch the drop on it. You still piked at the neck a little bit for that. But the hip action is where the twist comes from, because we're twisting in the hips, not the shoulder. Can you do another standing? Okay. The last couple you just drifted a little bit. Your hurdle, your arms weren't getting up. Yeah, I know. When you put yourself in a better position on the end of the board, it's easier to do better. You ever watch football? You ever watch football? The linemen stand there like this. All right, guys, here we go. Ready? No. They get down like this. Their knuckles go white. They're ready from that ball snaps to get in there, to have that angle on them and have the advantage. You have to be on the end of the board in that positional advantage. Position is power in our sport. I know you're strong, but position is stronger. Up. The three things camp had to focus on today was balance, breathing, and brace. They had to focus on staying balanced, focused on just controlling their breathing and maintaining their brace. Where did their brace need to be on? Number 1 in the hurdle, number 2 on takeoff, and number 3 on the entry. Well, not when you're in your position. You know what I mean? Hurdle, takeoff when you're in your position. No, when you come out, we engage our brace again. All right. Let's spin up and let's squeeze our tuck so we have a chance to make it. All right. Up. Up. He let go. You let go. Then you heard me say up and then you moved. You're supposed to kick on the call. Now, wait. I said the biggest thing was squeezing on that one. Balance. Breathing you take care of easy. And then that brace is on takeoff. Good balance. We're piking at the hip, so you got to think about keeping the head up. On that IDM, you like to go here and twist because you're just thinking twist. Stand up as tall as you can. Late cat scratch. Cat scratch fever. Heel slam. All right. Hey, your right leg goes right where it's supposed to. Your left leg can join it and you be going right in the water nicely. That's good. Thank you. Now you can add the approach again. You see that? You felt it, but you're feeling it, right? You can feel that position that's not very powerful. You still have to work on getting the arms up and stepping out in front. And that's where we got to drop from. You're dropping from a position that's already kind of bad with those feet back. Reach, up. Okay. Oh. A little better land load, land load, land load. You kind of missed that and wanted to get ahead of it. Not horrible. It was just a timing thing. Connection. Make sure you're trying. It's a gainer. It's harder to drive your feet up in front. It's easier on the back. So remember that direction also with the feet. Don't draw them in. Drive them up. All right, Eli. Up. Come on. Show me a squeeze. I'll call you out. Up. Good. Now, not very quick. All right? You got your arms up, but you ended up just picking your feet up. Got to use your ankles. Got to get to that C before you slam. Okay, ladies, about halfway through that. About halfway through working on your goal. Eli, up to you if you want to take that off, do a couple somersaults, see how they're looking. See if we can get them high and quick. I need them high and fast, done early. Know what I mean? You can leave the belt on, just take the ropes off. Okay. You can double bounce it. You can double bounce too. You what? We need to get you to the end. Your shoulders just behind your feet and then head over the feet. Doggy. Are you going for it? You're looking at me like I'm dumb. I'm crazy. I'm not dumb. Come on. Load that board. Reach. Sit. You felt it. You felt that move forward. Little bit more. Hold that board down. Ride the hurdle. Fast arms. Ride the hurdle. Down. Up. There you go. Nice. Nice. Now, hey, get to here. And you need to do a little better of getting the hips up on top. That balance, that's good, but it's kind of the connection's a little spin down. We want a little bit more spin up. Stall bar, pike up, action. And go for it, girl, whenever you're ready. When we can alternate, we can do 1.5 somersault, 1.5 somersault. You can do lineups in between. Okay, kind of better now. Arms didn't get all the way up, but you have your foot up in front so you can step. But when you step out like that, still bent. You need to be up here so you can step all the way through those hips. Alrighty, light. Good separation. Good separation of the sink swing. And then make sure you hit the C slam. You're slamming to that high spot. Everything comes back to the high spot. Head, chest, arms, and legs. High and fast. Reach. Very high. Not super quick, but tons and tons of time on that, man. That's just riding the board better. Timing with the board. Now, think about what happens if you can put the right connection with that. Well, you got to learn how to control coming out of flips that over-rotate. Your shoulders are like they're comfortable staying in front of your feet. I couldn't double bounce on the board with my head just out in front of my feet. You got to keep them under you. Do they feel like they're under you? Well, that's the feel. You can see it. But when you're up in the air, you start to circle like this. Now your hands are going behind you. You haven't landed on the board yet. You have to drift laterally so your feet don't move. It comes right back to that. Yes. If you're in the air, floating in space, and you circle back, your feet are going to move with you. If you catch the board and circle, your feet don't move. Yeah, you don't have to double bounce. You let me know, Lily. I'm ready to call you out. Did you want to do any on 3 first? Okay. Now, your backswing's pretty far back. I want you to tame that down just a little bit and really focus on getting the arms to the top in the hurdle. Still need to work on holding that board down in the hurdle. Got it? Bend that knee in the hurdle. Come on, girl. Now, you're thinking about putting your foot out in front, but you're doing this. You're bringing it out in front here. Still got to lift that knee, that foot under here. And that all happens, hey, while you're holding the board down. If you're trying to stand up while you're doing that, that doesn't work. Okay, it's going to be really hard to stay stable and stay balanced. So that's part of it. You still like to hit, drive, like a punch run or whatever. But you need to hit, hold, sit. You get up. I said you don't have to do a double mount. That had nothing to do. Double bounce didn't have anything to do with that. If you're thinking about double bounce, that shouldn't make anything mess you up. Oh, that was all right. When the board is going down, your arms are going up. They're going up very quickly. Going up very quickly. There you go. Brace. 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 Now, remember the fast pike ups over there? Add that. Okay? Add that. Get it, girl. Hey, Dr. Pippa. Doctor. What you do? Hold the board down. 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 Good. Now, hey, hold on. While you're holding the board down, you come through here and you let that foot swing out in front. It's going to come back. So that foot needs to stay where it's at so it can just step out. This creates a circular action. See that? So that hurdle leg is in that position for a reason. But it's a lot of the reason is, think about it, the board's going down and you start to swing, you have gravity pulling down on everything and you're using everything to get your arms up. So you're not even worried about your stinking foot down there. You're just trying to pull your arms up over your head. So you got to work a lot on stabilizing here and being able to do this action and then stand up. Sorry, and then you stand up from here and then you do this. And that's a drill you can do. You can step, nose, straighten your leg, push.
I think especially because I'm thinking about the scale is like this direction. So,
right now we're trying to work on a twister and we're trying to work on your approach. So you have to focus on the hurdle first anyways. That's why I'm focusing more on the hurdle right now at this point, because you're not in a good spot to fix the rest. Up! Lily's going for a gain of 1.5. It's her newest optional. A few times. Here we go. Be patient. Squeeze. I haven't seen you on the board. Down. Tip. Header. There you go. Yeah? 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 Much smoother. 303. Up. Countdown. Ready. And 1, 2, 3, go. Reach. Right. Hold. Really, really, really ride that hurdle. Hold that board down. There's more there. Up. Reach. That'll go. So swing that foot, lift that foot, lift step, lift step, lift step. Reach. Push. Up. Yay! Now, don't go down on that somersault on that connection. Spin up over the top, up over the top. Tall arms, legs up. Good job. Hey, hey, I saw some excessive backswing. Remember, I told you that backswing goes up a bit, and you don't tend to watch the shoulders, so you don't have to swing back that far.
Can you help me? I'm looking for Andrew Murray.
Andrew, I haven't seen him yet tonight. If he's here, he would be in the office. One of the other ladies, you could the one on the farthest right. She also coaches with math.
Okay.
We have some that are here for Plainfield as well, but she coaches with math. You're welcome. Somersault, I missed you, sorry. Hi, girl. Trying to jump as high as you can in the hurdle and then land in one little spot on the end of the board. Okay. Pike at the hips, chin up. Pike at the hips, chin up. Pike at the hips, chin up. Good. Each. Oh, no, 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 no. Oh, he saved that one. How about that? Yeah, I know you just came around and just reached. You could come around and actually pike down and make that an okay dive. And now, you did a good save on that. You didn't have the best bounce, but you sat there, you got your arms up, and you stayed as long as you could. And you still had a good top. You actually came out and had your feet together and stood up on it too. Oh, it freaked you out? No. No, but you made a good fix because you looked like you weren't going to be able to stay that long. Okay? But you stayed and stuck to the board and stood it up. You could have done 1.5 still with that. I do what you just do again. But stay in the twist longer before you try to come out. The bottom arm comes out to start slowing us. Top arm helps us get back on axis. So if you don't use the top arm, it's going to be hard to dive in square. Because you'll be on tilt. You twist into the right. So that leg would be out that way. And then bottom arm slows you down. Top arm brings you back so you can pike down. Because you don't get, if you get in, you're fine. If you don't, you just try to go. You still have to do a full twist. When you do your fulls, don't you get in? Make connection all the way around and you square at the full. But when you do your 1.5 full, you don't wait until you're done with the full like you do on your full. Oh, Eli. Oh, Eli. My little Padawan. Squirrel man. Now, a little extra crazy with the leg. You got kind of back on balance, though, there. Just stabilize with your core, because if you land and you're not on here, you could have jumped and made a 1.5 full with that last one. Oh, you just had to push it again. The password thing didn't come up. Reach, hold, reach, hold. Now, when you come in, you like stand right up on that When you land on the board, we ride down, stand. When we ride down, then we straighten our legs. Then we ride up.
Getting so annoying.
Well, it's a springboard. Springboard, you're kind of quick on it right now, and you need to kind of just stay with the board a little longer. I know you can get rusty really quick, especially if you're still working on the skill. Lily going? Balance, breathing brace will help you. Balance number 1. All with the breathing. Keep your brace on takeoff and entry. Reach. Up. Woo! You got time. You did a little quick out on that. You had time. Come on, girl. Less movement, the better. All right. Look. So you just look like you just slowed things down and tried to smooth it out like butter on bread, and you smooth it, right?
It was.
Okay. Yeah. Not on the beam. You're not on the floor. You're on the diving board. That board gradually moves, and you have to be flowing with those waves as it comes down so you can catch correctly. That's better. Chin was down a little in the twist. You did wait before you tried to pike down.
Honestly, when I go to camp, it will become so much better. So, I can't go work on it.
Well, you work on whenever you're doing it. You're working on it, yes. Doing dry land on the dry board is going to be really helpful for you. Doing all the different draw drills, because you're going to see some others.
I think it's when I add a skill to it, because I feel like they were trying, but I was just doing them, and when I add the skill, it gets worse.
Because your brain is complicating things, and it's not. Remember, you're not supposed to think about that. So you're supposed to think about the prerequisite skill. Eli, that board's been open a few times. You've been kind of just floating around like a, what would you call those sea cows? Do you know what sea cows are? Manatees. Their nicknames are sea cows. They're manatees. Very, very gentle giants. They float around. They don't hurt anything. But you just floating around like a manatee. All happy. You get hit by some boat's rudders. Ah, hey, I saw this. Oh, kind of hard to come back from that. Eli. Put too much time. Down. Eli, you put too much time between your last 2 somersaults. That one was a crappier one. You didn't get a very good stretch like you were getting. Now, what's been the difference just on the last 2? Because those were smooth. Did you just think about slowing down? Okay. That was smooth. Now, again, on takeoff, you're still a little bit there. We got to work driving the heels, because that's when you're lifting to the twist. You'll have a better understanding of where you're at, because your head will be up. All right, I got your next one. Got 15 minutes on your goal still, 15 minutes. Remember, you were supposed to be ready and possibly doing them in the belts on 3, too. Dun, 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 dun. Bye-bye. Reach! Okay. Fingertips lead, not shoulders. No, double bounce it again. Try to get that head up and drive those heels. I want to see you come around and square that a little bit better. You can do that with your chin up. Remember, the pike snaps in the hips, hips, hips. Not that upper body. Hips. Twist the hips, not the shoulders. All in the hips. Oh, and hit. Are you too good for your home ball? Go to your home. Eat. You hold. Oh, what? What in the world? Why would you not take that? Good hurdle, good second bounce. You got to do a double twisting 1.5 you want to do. Pike kick. Set the hips. It is up. It is up. There you go. Oh! Oh! Oh, you came around and you weren't rotated around quite far enough for you to be piking down. So when you pike down early, you actually got yourself stuck. So you have to have more rotation on that before you pike down. Your shoulders got to be on top of your hips. So you're like, yeah. Think of it. So it's a 1.5 with the full twist. You've made the full twist every time. The somersault's been questionable. Ready, Lily? All right, you got time on those last two. You put a nice full stretch on this. Hup. Back swing. Up, hold, reach. Hup. Better knee extension and kick. Now, not as good as connection. You kind of spun down on that like a couple somersaults did. Little bit better leverage on top. Thanks for joining us. I'm going to get the rest of the hot water so my divers are comfortable for the rest of the practice. We'll see you again next time. Thanks for joining us here at MRDC. See you next time.